All right, let's just dive right in with a question that's, well, it's at the very heart of everything. Where does it all come from? Not just the stuff we see around us, but our deepest experiences. The good, the bad, the suffering, and the liberation. What we call samsara and nirvana. What's the real source of all that?
We're going to explore that very question by digging into this amazing ancient dialogue. It's all about how we actually build our own reality from the ground up, moment by moment. And it all comes down to something we're calling the trap of labels.
So, here's our game plan for today. We're going to start by asking, where does it all begin? Then we'll get right into the nitty-gritty of this trap of labels. From there, we'll look at a path that takes us beyond our usual thinking, totally flip how we look at practice, and finally, bring it all back to mind's true nature.
All right, let's jump right in. Section 1. Where does it all begin? The origin of everything we experience. It might be a lot simpler and honestly a lot weirder than you think.
And the answer we get is just so direct, it's almost shocking. The source isn't some big bang or a mysterious outside force. Nope, it's our own deeply ingrained habit of slapping labels on things. Think about that. That one simple act is the seed for our entire reality. All the good stuff and all the tough stuff too.
Okay, so we've got to unpack that idea, right? That brings us to Section 2, the trap of labels. How on earth can something as simple as naming things actually build the entire world we live in? Let's find out.
The key term here is jia ming, which we're translating as designations or labels. But here's the crucial part. We're not just talking about words. We're talking about the mental tags, the little sticky notes we put on raw experience before we even speak. And once that tag is on, bam, that's our reality now.
So this whole process apparently happens in 3 stages. First, a thought just pops into your mind. Second, your brain gets to work on it. That's cognition. It builds a habit, puts it in a box. And third, we lock it all down with language. We give it a name. Just think about it. This happens all day long. Friend, enemy, good day, bad day, even the person you present yourself as online. It all follows this exact same pattern.
So, naturally, the student in this dialogue asks the exact question we're all probably thinking right now. Okay, so if these labels are the problem, how do I stop doing it? How do I get free from this trap?
And the answer is so elegant, so simple. It's basically stop fighting, stop struggling. Just let everything be as it is, in its natural state. You don't have to add new labels, you don't have to tear down the old ones, just let go. And if you do that, the whole structure, the good, the bad, all of it, just sort of dissolves on its own.
This idea leads us right into our next section. Number 3, the path beyond thought. If the whole point is to stop doing things, to stop labeling, then what in the world does a path to enlightenment even look like? It sounds like a contradiction, doesn't it?
And here it is, the million-dollar question. If the whole game is about not adding concepts, not creating more labels, then how could you possibly attain something as big as enlightenment? It seems impossible. The master's answer just completely flips the script on us. He starts by telling us all the ways you don't get there. It's not something you can make. It's not something you can name or explain. You can't cultivate it. You can't judge your way there. You can't even concentrate your way there. Why? Because all of those are just more doing, more labeling.
And this is the absolute core of the teaching. The instruction is so radical. Do nothing. Abide in nothing. Think nothing. Make nothing. Don't chase a goal. Don't try to manufacture some special state of mind. Just rest. Simply rest in the natural state of what you already are. That's it. That's the entire path.
So you might be wondering, how does this do-nothing thing fit with all the traditional ideas about practice? Great question. That brings us to Section 4, where we get a whole new view on practice, reimagining the 4 pillars through some really beautiful metaphors.
First up is the view. And the metaphor here is that the right view is just like the sky. Think about it. The sky is totally vast, open, and completely impartial. It holds everything, right? Storm clouds, sunshine, you name it. It doesn't judge, it doesn't pick favorites. That's what our mind is actually like.
Next is practice. And this isn't about sweating and struggling. No, it's like the light of the sun. It's just luminous, constant, clear. It's an awareness that's always there, shining on everything equally. You don't have to turn it on. It's just naturally on. Then we have action. When you're in this state, your actions become like a flawless crystal ball.
They just reflect whatever is needed in the moment, with total clarity, without getting muddied up by your ego or what you think you should do. It's not about trying to rack up good deeds. It's about a spontaneous, perfect response to what's actually happening. And finally, the fruition, the payoff, the result. This metaphor is just perfect. The result isn't something you find out there somewhere. It's like a wish-fulfilling jewel that's been in your pocket this whole time. You just suddenly realize that everything you were ever looking for comes from right inside you, just by recognizing what your own mind is.
Okay, let's bring all this home in our final section. Section 5, Returning to Mind's Nature. This is where the rubber meets the road. How does this big, profound view actually help us with the toughest stuff we all have to deal with in life?
So the student asks a question that, let's be honest, hits home for every single one of us. When it's our time, when we're facing death, where can we possibly find a safe harbor, a place to be without fear?
And the master's answer is just a total game changer. He says, the fear of death only comes because we think we are this body that was born and is going to die. But if you realize that your actual nature, your mind itself, was never born, well, then it can never die. You just continue on in that empty, luminous essence that you've always been.
And this really nails the huge shift in perspective when it comes to suffering. The common view, right? It's always that our suffering is caused by someone else, or our job, or what's happening in the world. But the awakened view says, no. The source of suffering is actually an inside job. It's caused by not recognizing our own nature. It's literally our own mind hurting itself without realizing it. And this right here, this is the ultimate takeaway, the final assurance from the master. It's a direct statement about who you are. Your mind, right now, exactly as it is, has been enlightened from the very beginning. The text uses the term dharmakaya, which is like saying it's the very fabric of reality itself. It's not something you have to go out and get. It's just something you have to recognize. And he says, of this, you can be absolutely certain.
So, we're going to end by leaving you with a question to chew on. After everything we've talked about today, that world you see out there, the person you think you are, is that solid, objective reality? Or is it a story, a really convincing, detailed story built entirely out of the labels you and everyone else have attached to it? Something to think about.